As you could tell this evening, part of what we accomplished was contentious. I would recommend that you all read the two reports that were produced by the Ways and Means Committee and the Joint Committee on Taxation. For all practical purposes, the research that was done as it relates to the mandatory audit program was non-existent. The tax forms were really never audited, and only my sending a letter at one point prompted sort of a rearview mirror response. I emphasize again that the mandatory program, as highlighted in what you will likely get in the next few minutes or so, it was almost non-existent. And my point is that that was the legislative purpose with which we won 4 federal court decisions in 3 courts. We argued for an examination of how the audit process played out. Once staff went to visit the IRS, and once staff had a chance to go to some of the other locations that are within the jurisdiction of the IRS, they quickly concluded that, in fact, the audit did not occur. There were no audits in a timely manner. And that goes, I think, for 2017, 2018, and 2019. As I noted, we made it through those substantial court decisions. It required patience. Let me say something, because I think it bears a personal note. This was never about being punitive. It was never about being malicious. I never overpromised. I never built an unreasonable level of expectation. And time and again, I refrained from the questions in the hallway that you posed to me, because I was not about to upset a very sensitive court case. The other thing that happened, much to your dislike, was that there were no leaks that occurred from the committee. We kept this very much above board, went back and forth with the attorneys at the committee, and we were determined to put forward a case that would, as I noted early on when I was asked in the hallway right after my letter originally was sent, I was asked, what do you expect? And I said, a long and grueling court case. That was my quote 3.5 years ago. That's what happened. Did we have enough time to conduct the review? Yes, we did. These were individuals on the tax staff who are seasoned professionals, tax lawyers and accountants. They proceeded as I knew they would, with not only great professionalism, but also with great restraint, not to overdo anything as they undertook their responsibilities. When Republicans argue, and I want to hear from the others here, when Republicans argue that there was no precedent, there is a letter from Richard Nixon on December 13th of 1973 to the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, Wilbur Mills. And he asked Wilbur Mills to have the Joint Committee on Taxation review his tax returns. It began that very day. This idea that this never happened before, well, 49 years ago, it did happen.
The House Ways and Means Committee has just voted along party lines to approve the release of 6 years of Donald Trump's tax returns after a legal battle that's gone all the way to the Supreme Court and has lasted years. Now, the tax returns won't immediately be public. The staff will now go through and redact sensitive information, but Rich